What'd he ask you to do?
He wants me to take out Rob's mom.
I'm not going to jail for you.
Duck one in on the weed business.
He can keep wishing.
If you don't help me, he'd end up dead or in jail.
I'm looking to buy dude out.
How much you need?
Can't change my past, but I can create a better future for myself and everyone else in this city.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love the Shy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about the Shy Season 6, Episode 10. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points that we saw in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And as I told you guys last night, this was a very good build-up episode, and you can tell certain storylines are about to take off. Your boy Victor, I know he was upset. He did not have the greatest episode at all, dealing with Duda, and of course learning that the feds, they got evidence on him being at the crime scene of Q's murder. So he's going to have to be dealing with that in this second half of the season, and I know it's going to be very, very difficult. We also know that your boy Rashad, he is playing with fire in my opinion. Messing around with Alicia, y'all know that's not going to end well. I guess he didn't watch the thin line between love and hate, because if he did, he will know he needs to stay far, far away. But he gonna learn. He definitely gonna learn. I told you guys I believe she is grooming him, and she's gonna get him to do exactly what she wants him to do. And we know she has a game plan to take down Duda. The question is, will this game plan actually work? And what type of sacrifices will come along the way? Will everybody make it? Will somebody get dropped off because they slipped up trying to execute this game plan? Well, I guess we're going to find out soon enough. But let's begin the recap. What did we see in episode 10 titled Want This Smoke? Now the episode starts out with your boy Victor. Of course, we know he's in the whole city council thing. We also know that it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So the topic of discussion is mental health. And basically he is saying that if he had help when he was younger, maybe some of the things that he did would never had happened, right? And he's talking about how he cannot fix his past, but he can make sure he does great things in the future, and he can help others out as well. And he has an idea of opening up a mental health clinic, right? Now, while he is talking, we are seeing these flashbacks of Victor's past, of him, having interactions with Duda. We know we saw the interaction that he had with getting rid of Q's body, which is going to come back and bite him. We see the feds, they're at the crime scene. They find the car is all burnt up. And of course, they're talking about it's still a possibility that they're able to get fingerprints. And now we know by the end of the episode, Victor, he's going to have a huge problem. Now, Marcus is telling him that maybe he can run for mayor in the future. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, based off what we saw in this episode, it's going to be very, very difficult for your boy Victor to do this, especially with him having this case on his back. It ain't gonna be easy. Now, once Victor leaves, we know he is hemmed up, probably by Nuck and Zay, if I had to guess. And then we see him have an encounter with Duda. Now, Duda is believing that Victor has something to do with him being shot at. And I'm thinking, like, really? Victor is not about to take no shots at you in the car. He ain't gonna miss, for one. And as I told you guys last night in my quick thoughts, early impressions, Victor's character, he's an up close and personal type of guy. His character was introduced that way. You know what I'm saying? Dropping off somebody right there in front of Duda, and he does it face to face. He does not play around. So Duda, he's all in his head, and we know Victor, he's laughing at him like, really, dude? Like, it wasn't me. Victor headbutts him, and then we know that your boy Duda punches him right in the eye. Had this boy eye on swole the entire episode. I mean, it was crazy, man. Your boy Victor, like I told you guys, did not have the greatest episode at all. And I just want to know how he's going to figure out all this mess that he's involved in. Now, we get to Emmett and Keisha. Emmett tells Keisha about the conversation that he had with Duda and how Duda wants him to take down Alicia. And basically, he is agreeing with trying to work with Alicia because he does not want to do business with Duda at all. And he's telling Keisha that everything's going to be okay. But he can't really promise that, right? But he does tell her they should go out, relieve this stress because we know they've been going through it. So it does help them to be able to finally go out and get their mind off all the negativity. Now we get to your boy Jake and Kenya, and Jake got her modeling or whatever for his clothing brand. And it seems like she does not have the best relationship with her pops because we know he got all the money. He's rich, but apparently she ain't getting none of that. As I told you guys, I believe this new pastor that we're going to see is her pops. That's my prediction because he got a lot of money and he's in a mega church at the same time. We know Papa will be involved with that guy, and most likely Kenya is not going to like that just based off that official trailer where she tells him to make sure that he is careful, right? But y'all let me know, did y'all feel like it was some type of chemistry between Jake and Kenya? I mean, we gonna see. I know your girl Gemma was kind of jealous when she found out about it, so that's gonna be crazy if that does end up happening. Now we get to your girl Lene, and it seems like she's the only one that has decided to continue her education and go to school. And we are introduced to Professor Gardner, played by your boy Kadeem, aka Dwayne Wayne. And we know that she will invite Bakari to the next lecture. Now, we get to your boy Emmett. He asks his parents, if they can watch the kids while him and Keisha go out. They agree, but they also want to know what's going on between him and Duda. Of course, Emmett says, he talked to him. He has it all under control. Jada does tell him not to have too much fun out there because you already got a lot of kids as it is. He does not need another one, right? But we know by the end of the episode, him and Keisha definitely hooked up. And we know they straight up raw dog. So I don't know, man. It may be another pregnancy storyline. Hopefully things turn out in their favor. And your boy Emmett, he pulled out just in time. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're going to find out. And, hopefully things are okay. Now we get to group. It's a good thing that they're still having these group sessions. We know Rashad was talking about Deja and the things that he is going through. And we know Jamal was talking about trying to get a job. We know based off the official trailer that he will be working at Smokey's. I want to know how everything's going to play out with that. Now, your boy Victor comes in. He's pissed off. Marcus wants to know if everything is okay. Victor is talking about, everything will be eventually, right? I mean, Victor is not having the best episode. Now, Victor does have a conversation with Rashad. They were talking about Duda. They end up talking about, Rashad and Deja. And Rashad finally tells Victor the truth about Tierra on how he clapped her cheeks. And Victor wasn't tripping about that at all. He was just laughing. And we know Rashad was talking about maybe he should get back out in the dating scene or whatever and see what type of females he can end up getting. Now, we get to Emmett and your girl Keisha. They finally go out to the club. They're dancing, having a good old time. And then they run into your boy Dante, the same Dante that used to clap Tiffany's cheeks. And your boy Emmett is making sure that Dante does not try to mess around with Keisha. I mean, this whole scene was funny. At the same time, we know he does not like Duda at all. And he did help Tiffany get her car back in part 1 this season. Now, your boy Dante has a date. Her name is Candace. And when I saw Candace, all I can think about was the Parenthood TV show. I mean, this girl, she was killing it in the 90s, y'all. All the dudes loved her. And of course, I loved her, and love don't cost a thing as well. Now, we know Candace and Keisha, they're having a conversation. And Candace, she ain't trying to be tied down. Candace, she's trying to get her freak on and just be kicking it, having a good old time. And we can kind of tell Keisha ain't feeling it. She's kind of tired. We can tell she wants to go home. Your boy Emmett, he up there drinking with Dante. He's exhausted. He is tired as hell. We know Dante did tell Emmett to make sure if he's going to start things with Duda, to make sure that he's able to finish this because we know it's going to be a difficult task. Now, Emmett's like, look, I'm getting the hell up out of here. Him and Keisha, they go home. They're eating pizza, having, great conversation. And Emmett's like, man, look, I ain't really trying to be about that club life like that. I'd rather just be home with you, eating pizza and having great conversation, right? And we know Keisha, she loved that. She loved that Emmett wanted to be with her or whatever. She's feeling it. All of a sudden, they start getting a freak on. And your boy Emmett, he claps those cheeks. And man, I don't know if he took his mom's advice because it seemed like it was getting real hot. And we know Emmett, he hit raw dog. He told Keisha, let me go grab the straps. But she said, nah, just make sure you're careful. Well, that's how it starts. Just make sure you're careful. Well, we gonna see just how careful things played out, I guess, in the next few episodes. Now, we get to your boy Rashad. Darnell sees him outside sleeping in his car. And I'm like, man, like you need some tint. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you need tint. That's the first thing you should have invested in when you got your new whip anyway. Now Darnell feels bad for him and allows, Rashad to stay with him until he gets back on his feet. And we know that Jada wasn't really feeling that. Like, really? Like, I'm not trying to have a grown man up in here. And we can tell that Darnell was kind of regretting it. Like, man, like this boy about to be a problem. But we know he just wanted to look out for his boy and make sure that he was good. Now we get to Nuck If You Buck and Rob. And Nuck is telling him like, look, I can take you out right here, right now. Rob was acting like he didn't even give a damn, talking about do what you gonna do. But we know at the end of the day, he would rather live. And Nuck tells him, let me get in on your whole weed business and we good. Know what I'm saying? And now he has to go back to Tiffany and tell her that he did end up agreeing with Nuck and that Nuck will be a part of the business. He will be getting his cut. Now we get to Bakari and Lene, and we know Bakari is talking about he has to make this drop. He has those weapons. And of course, Lene doesn't even know what's in the bag. Now I'm hoping that Bakari took all these weapons up out of there. It seemed like that's what he was about to do. But then again, we just never know. Now Lene does tell him that she wants him to go to her English literature class, and Bakari does agree to go with her, right? Now they go to class. We can tell that Bakari, he's really feeling, the lesson that Professor Gardner is teaching, and he really wants to be in the class for real. Now Professor Gardner is like, look, he cannot break university policies, but Bakari could come in the evenings and he can tutor him. At least he would give him the basics that he needs, right? And Bakari, he's like, okay, that sounds good to him. We know once Bakari does come, he is kind of late. And, Professor Gardner is like, nah, the deal is off. But Bakari ends up talking to him a little bit more and he agrees to continue to tutor him. And Bakari did tell him if Gardner does not help him out, he will probably be in jail or end up dead. He needs this positive male influence in his life. I mean, he does not have Pastor Stanley Jackson anymore. And I'm pretty sure that Pastor Stanley Jackson will be very proud of Bakari as far as what he is trying to do. Now, we get to your boy Rashad, Darnell, and Alicia. We know Darnell, he's fixing up some things there, and he got Rashad right there to help him out. Alicia, she's not wasting any time. She's flirting with Rashad, and I believe she is grooming him in order to get him to do exactly what she wants him to do. I told you guys, Rashad apparently did not watch A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, because if he did, he would know not to mess around with Alicia. But this whole storyline, you already know it's not going to end well for your boy Rashad. And he's just at a very bad place right now, which is playing right in Alicia's hands. Now, we get to Emmett. He goes and have a conversation with Rob. We know that he needs help with Duda. And he's talking about how he needs to buy him out. And we know Alicia is telling him, well, how much? Let me know how much you need and get back with me. We know Rob tells Emmett that if he messes up, he will have a problem not just with his moms, but with Rob as well. So, Emmett, you better hope and pray you don't slip up and that you're ready for the consequences of doing business with Alicia. Now, we know Tiffany did tell Emmett that he needs to have Keisha's dip at Smokey's, which could help her make a lot of money. And I heard that dip in real life is good. So, I like how they added that into the storyline. Now, we get to Bianca and Duda. We know she owes Alicia a favor as far as setting Duda up. And in this conversation, she's talking about Duda has helped people and all that, and how the world is different because you were here. Now, Duda, you can tell he was feeling some type of way about this topic of discussion. And to me, it was almost like Bianca was speaking like this man is about to get dropped off. Like, you lived a great life. You know what I'm saying? You did so good. Of course, Duda's thinking that, yeah, he did good, but he also has done bad. And during the conversation, Duda is texting Tracy, trying to see what she's all about, but Tracy does not want anything to do with him at all. As I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, I would not be surprised if Duda and Tracy still hook up, because we're used to seeing it happen each and every season. Now, we get to your boy Rashad. He is trying the whole dating scene out. And man, he is not having good luck at all. He's running into all these different girls. I mean, crazy ex-boyfriends and all that stuff. I mean, your boy Rashad was looking like, man, I need to go ahead and try to fix things with Deja. We know later on in the episode, he have a conversation with the fellas, and they wanted to know what really happened with Deja. And it was funny because your boy Marcus was talking about, what happened and all this stuff. And Rashad, he plays it off. He can't really tell him that he clapped Tiara's cheeks, because if he tells him the truth, we know Marcus is going to be very, very upset. Now, we know eventually Marcus is going to find out. Just like Deja found out, Marcus is going to find out. And I'm pretty sure he's going to want to have a conversation with not just Tiara, but with Rashad as well. Now, Rashad continues to try to see if he can get Deja back. He goes and tries to give her flowers. She ain't trying to hear him at all. She told him she used to love him. Not anymore. She ain't messing around with him, and we know it made Rashad very, very upset. Now we get to Gemma. She's at the studio. Brittany is busy hooking up with another female right there in Gemma's face. And Gemma, she's kind of jealous, right? And Gemma's telling her, you need to focus on your music. Your music could be better. We know Brittany, she is having issues with that because she ain't feeling what Gemma is talking about. And I could have sworn Duda wanted Gemma to focus on following Bakari around and less time making this music. I know he's going to be upset once he realizes that Brittany is not listening. On top of that, we know she wants more money, so she needs to decide what she really wants to do. Now, we get to Jake and Gemma got upset once she saw, the pictures of Kenya, and she's like, really? So you got her to model for you? What about me? I could have done that, right? And Jake is like, really? Like, I thought you was busy with the music stuff. So he ain't really trying to argue. We know this whole conversation did not end well. My thing is this, Gemma, when is you going to tell Jake about you kissing Brittany, right? You kissed the girl and you liked it. Ain't that's what you told Tiara? So what about that? You're worried about Jake, but you need to worry about what you need to be doing. Now, we know Rob tells Tiffany about the whole thing with Nuck. We already know she was not going to be happy about this, but it is what it is. I mean, Nuck could have dropped him off just like that, but now Rob has a second chance to fix things, which he would rather do instead of getting dropped off. Now, we get to Alicia and your boy Rashad. We know they exchanged numbers earlier on in the episode. Rashad talking about, I can fix those locks or whatever if you need me to. I mean, it's kind of late. Your girl Alicia tells him, well, you can fix those locks, but you can do that in the morning. So now Rashad, he's kicking it with Alicia. Most likely he's going to clap those cheeks. I mean, you are sleeping with the devil, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, Rashad, you know it ain't going to end well for you. I mean, Alicia, she's crazy. As I told you guys, she's supposed to be worse than Duda. And we're going to continue to see just how dangerous she is in the second half of this show. Now, Emmett is having a conversation with Keisha about Alicia, and he's talking about how he's figuring it out and how he can use Alicia to get at Duda. We know Keisha tells him that he's playing with fire, and he has to make sure that he is very careful, and she ain't about to go to jail for him, right? So we're going to see if Emmett is going to be able to handle all of this, or if this is a tad bit too much for him. Now, Victor gets a knock on the door. It's Quincy and it's Alonzo, right? And we know Alonzo, he is a lawyer with old ties to Alicia, and he needs help because apparently the feds, they have evidence on him. They said that they found, DNA in a burnt car near Q's body. So it ain't looking too good for him. If they cannot, pin this on Duda, most likely they're going to try to pin it on Victor, and that's the last thing that he wants, right? And we know Victor is talking about he didn't do it and how they can prove it, whatever, and what's going to happen if they can't. And we know Alonzo tells him, well, if they can't prove that you're innocent, you're going to be going to prison for the rest of your life. So we know Victor, he's stressed out, y'all. He ain't feeling it at all. As I told you, did not have the best episode. I mean, it started out okay, and then right after that speech, things turned left, and basically he just had a very bad episode. I mean, we're going to see how he's going to be able to handle all this that's coming his way. But I'm pretty sure once this news gets out, this whole thing with the city council, him trying to be, the face, and I guess the positive face that he's trying to represent, that's not going to look too good for him and his character. And we know he's going to have to deal with Duda. He's going to have to deal with the people. And of course, he may have to deal with Alicia because once she finds out about this news, I'm pretty sure she's going to have some questions about why his DNA was at the crime scene of her brother's death, right? So It's going to get crazy, y'all. But I want y'all to leave your theories, predictions, leave it all down below. We will continue to talk about The Chi Season 6 very soon. I will be breaking down this season trailer. And of course, when they release the episode 11 trailer, I will talk about that as well. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.